Hey, everybody.
I'm the writer.
And I'm the musician. Welcome to another podcast. Could be our third. Who's keeping track?
Yeah, only Speckoi. She's on my lap. She's licking herself. Oh, that's my cat.
She's actually licking coffee off her tail.
Oh, yeah.
So to that, I would say cheers.
Cheers.
And if you have coffee, cheers to you as well.
Yum, that sip was delicious.
Creamy.
Yeah. So creamy.
So one thing we love to talk about is art.
We love it. This is our jam.
And best to just be doing art. Talking about art seems meaningless. But somehow the words can give you some direction sometimes or help you.
Inspire you.
Inspire some clarity, focus. It can help direct. There's great books we'll probably recommend along the way. Things like Steal Like an Artist or a book called Art and Fear.
Oh, they're so good. I love those books.
Or something like the, what is that book that she takes you along the journey and makes you do the writing pages and it's a whole...
The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. That one's great.
That's a great book. So yeah, get inspired.
Yeah, and then make art and share it with us.
Well, art, most people would say, is creation. Creative. A creative effort. You're creating something.
Definitely. It's definitely a space of blank nothingness.
That's an easy one.
And then we create something.
I think everyone, you say art is creation, everybody go, yes.
Yes.
But if I said that art was destructive, like art is kind of violent and art is destroying, there's a violence or a destruction to art. People wouldn't necessarily agree.
Yeah.
They might think that that's not art. If you're destroying things, if there's a destructive quality of violence to the art, like, might rub people the wrong way. They think it's creative and beautiful and
What is the Indian god? Vishnu. That is the god of destruction, right? I'd have to look it all up, but there is a god of
course.
Creation, destruction.
So insert your own god of destruction.
Yeah.
Whoever your god of destruction is.
It's all part of it.
But there is destruction in art. You take a blank piece of paper or a blank canvas and destroy it with your writing. You take the canvas and with each stroke, if you put another stroke on top of that, you're destroying the first stroke. Like, you can even fix mistakes. Like, you can put something on a piece of art and not like it and just destroy it by doing over, but you're actually creating your vision, your beauty.
What would be another word besides destroy? Because destroy sounds, or maybe that's just me.
I've even rubbed you the wrong way, and it even doesn't sit well with you.
Because destroy sounds like something's being taken away and really like forever, like destroyed.
It is. That's the butterfly. The butterfly destroys the cocoon and destroys the chrysalis and destroys the
like, it's no longer pretty and perfect and beautiful, but then it becomes something beautiful.
That's I'd almost have to grab the book.
Emerges and flies and just becomes itself.
Illusions by Richard Bach. And he states that, oh my gosh, I'd have to grab it. I'd actually have to grab it. If you could talk.
Yeah, I'll talk about stuff.
If you could talk, I would grab it. But
we can even edit. Just
it's about the butterfly. Oh yeah, just fast forward to where I actually say the meaningful quote.
I just know that I love his book called Jonathan Livingston Seagull.
Oh, that's wonderful.
How a bird went away from the flock to go follow his dream of flying the highest he could fly and the fastest he could fly.
I'm glad I loved Illusions. I didn't know about that book, and you turned me on to it, and I read it.
I love turning you on.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
The quote by Richard Bach: "What the caterpillar calls the end of the world, the master calls the butterfly."
Damn. Wow.
So it is the end of something. You've ended that blank canvas. You've ended the silence with your music.
That word feels more in alignment than destroy.
I don't think there's too much differentiation. You know what I mean? It's just probably two different words for the same thing.
Yeah.
Calling it a lovely surprise from your bottom instead of poop.
It's a lovely surprise. Surprise!
But speaking of which, then you don't always have to, some artists have proved that you don't always have to end or destroy to create the art. John Cage did a piece that is 3 minutes and 33 seconds of silence. And that is the piece. That is the music. Is an empty space.
I love that. It is. That is.
And for continuity, keep talking about nothing and something and everything. So nothing ends the moment you put something in the nothing.
Yes.
Once you have something, you can't have nothing. You have something. And if you have nothing, we talk about inspiration for the artist. The inspiration is the nothing. A blank wall to a graffiti artist is everything. And the blank page to the writer and
oh, yeah.
silence to a composer. They hear the music in their head and they have to get it out. It's inspiration to have that. You wouldn't be inspired, although some are,
by the emptiness.
To a completed painting. You wouldn't be inspired to go paint on it. You wouldn't take a page and want to write on another writer's writing, or some people I guess do.
Yeah. No, I'm inspired by the blank, empty.
It's an invitation.
It is.
There's an invitation there.
It really is. Have you ever had those times in your life where you wanted to, like what you're saying, destroy or end, so much in your life in order to build again?
You have to.
Like, I was thinking of like the time when I was 20 years old and I literally gave almost everything away to move somewhere and build a new life for myself. And yeah, I barely kept anything. Literally, everything I just gave away. And it felt really good to just have nothing, just have myself to open to whatever new was coming for me.
It's like hoarders. They can't move on in their life. They hoard and keep everything. Nothing is ever...
Oh my God, that would be terrifying. That would be terrifying because I think I psychically feel things that when I have too much stuff in my house, I can feel my brain like becoming claustrophobic and shrinking.
So they can't create a new life. You letting go of everything, not really everything. There's some things you keep, but in essence, those things that you keep drag your old life into the new life.
Yeah.
And maybe artists sticking to their ideal of their first album drag. People drag their career with this idea that they can't change, they can't let go of any of their past or what they've done.
That's so much pressure for people to live up to something from the past instead of just, kind of like we're always having those cocoons you were talking about all through life and breaking through to emerge from who you are now versus who you were in the past. Because we are always changing.
Yes. How the Beatles, took radical diversions and changes and became something bigger than they ever could have been if they kept doing the same, I want to hold your hand, 50s style, 60s. Someone like Radiohead, if they kept to their first album, they would never be as huge as they are, but they've been experimental and growing.
I think that journey is fascinating for people to see the artists just follow their own creative impulse and trust it and flow with it. It's almost like the people that are listening or watching or reading or whatever it be can feel that trust that even the artist had in themselves. And they trust, they become a fan and they follow them and like really get excited for the next thing.
Right, like people trusted somebody like Andy Warhol or whoever. If we think about Prince or David Bowie, big artists that have had a lot of different transitions and changes and kept going and growing as an artist. There's people that would just digest and buy anything and want to be a part of any of the movement.
Gary Shandling, we saw that documentary on him, a comedian.
The Zen of Gary Shandling. Watch it. Oh my God, it's so good.
That was so cool to see him change in his life. And, those times in his life when he literally ended like this part of his career that he was even successful in. He was like, nope, I'm feeling something new come in and I need to do this. And he did it.
He would have been a writer probably his whole life, just writing comedy, if he hadn't taken the leap to doing stand-up and getting his shot on the Tonight Show or Merv Griffin or, whatever shows. And even then, this is in the Larry Sanders Show and sort of a thing that happens where people used to get their big breaks on the Tonight Show or the Ed Sullivan, or that would be their big break. So a comedian can't wait to do their tight 5-minute set on one of those shows and get out to millions of people and really start their career there. That then getting that break and getting that start, honoring that person, they would then be reluctant to do other people's shows. The competition.
Really?
Yeah, so they would stick to the Tonight Show and just do that and not do the other shows, but it would hurt their career. But then they'd have to be in growth to keep moving forward and keep doing new things.
Those leaps.
And take leaps. And from him to go from writing TV shows to stand-up comedy, years and years of stand-up comedy, and then to go to his own television shows. The It's Gary Shandling Show, which was groundbreaking, probably created what would become The Office or shows like that because it was just so different.
That's so true.
And Larry Sanders Show, which is one of my favorite things that ever happened on television. One of the funniest shows I've ever seen. It was so brilliant to look at a talk show from behind the scenes and see what happens, what you're not supposed to see, what happens behind the curtain.
You made me think just now when you were saying all that about taking the leap in our art or in life or in anything and everything. That when we take the leap and we're ending or destroying something, even in taking the leap, that would be our fear, right?
Oh, yes.
That we're ending and destroying some fear inside of ourselves, moving through it.
Yes. That's Jerry Seinfeld. An interview with Jerry Seinfeld, he said that the really good comedy, the really good comedians, your setup for a joke is a leap of faith, and the punchline is the landing. And there's timing in between your jump and your landing. And some stretch that leap out and stretch the leap so that when the punchline lands, it has more impact. And some leap and land fast to sort of surprise you because there's no time in between. The most important thing in comedy, do you know what the most important thing in comedy is?
Timing?
Yes. You couldn't even let me land the... You stole the punchline from me.
What is it?
Well, most people don't say the punchline. I say, like, what is the most important thing in comedy? And you try to say, I don't know. And while you're saying, I don't know, I interrupt you with timing.
Oh. I was thinking, like, you were going to say something like it's like sex with edging. So when you're taking, like, when you're extending the timing,
I've now
that's like edging.
I've now completely forgot what we were talking about. Let's just talk about sex. And play some Salt and Pepper.
You know, because you gotta, like, some people try to do it really fast. You know, like you were talking about.
So here we go.
Your comedy.
Now we'll do it perfectly. Ready?
Okay.
So what's the most important thing in comedy?
Timing.
You're supposed to say, I don't know. I'll feed you the lines.
Cheers.
You're even better than the perfect straight person for a joke. Like you have the one joker and the one straight person. But even some of the best straight people are so incredible because they're so unpredictable.
Yeah.
Here again, Larry Sanders' show. Hank, his sidekick he was kind of cringy. So people would cringe, but Larry would always defend. He's a beautiful, beautiful person because he's so unpredictable. It's like he's a gift.
Oh, I love that. I love the unpredictability, like, because it's so, like, present, like, in the moment.
Hey, now.
You know? Is that what Hank says?
Yeah, that's an inside joke. Hey, now.
So back to, like, what we were talking about with
sex.
Destruction. Oh.
I'm kidding. I kid. Destruction.
Timing.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You're a gift. Well, destruction or ending. People think that art is such a creative endeavor and don't realize some of the other side of it, which everything has another side. Like there's a duality where light has dark and happiness has sadness, and both exist at the same time. And to ignore one can have such an effect on the other one, like almost negate it. Like happy life with no sadness at all would theoretically have less happiness in it than a life that has both immense sadness and immense happiness. And the immense happiness is only built upon that immense sadness.
Awareness of the sadness.
Because you have to have comparison. If the lowest moment in your life is like still pretty amazing and wonderful and beautiful, you know, like, then that's your lowest moment. And so your highest moment can't be that high. There's nowhere to go. How they say, like, once you've hit rock bottom, there's a beauty because there's nowhere to go but up. You letting go of everything in your life. There's nowhere to go but create a new life because you
create. And it feels like everything's been destroyed when you're at that bottom, like completely ended. And
they
and the power is in the creating.
Right, they need each other.
From that space. That space needs it in order to move forward. It gives to it. It's very generous, actually.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it in the moment, but it is. There's something really generous in that space when you tap into it. And that's in life and in art too. Like if something ends in our life and a new beginning happens, when I think of that in an artistic sense, it feels like the imagination. That's a world too.
Mm-hmm. Hard to imagine something new with all the old stuff in the way.
So much energy to move through, and sometimes it's so sticky and you're just like, ugh.
See, maybe that's even it, the energy, that vibration and energy that clutters, like you said about the imagination. How can you imagine, a new piece of art on the wall when the old one is still there? So maybe just taking the old piece down would allow the imagination to
be free,
have that space and freedom to actually imagine the new piece of art.
Something new. That is so beautiful. I feel that. I feel that so strongly. It makes me think of traveling. And when you set off on that adventure, you just feel so open and free, like you can do anything. And it's good for the imagination. It's good for your sense of adventure, for connection.
It expands, like your map of the world. If you never leave your hometown, it's just a tiny little thing, and every travel, your map grows larger.
I want to go traveling.
And your wealth of experience and the people you encounter. I mean, the more you traveled the world, you would touch so much. That internal map, if we call it, or that internal space, it becomes broad and wide and depth, and there's so much more. It's like you break down walls inside yourself, and this bigger space inside of you can imagine more because you've seen so much. You can imagine more, even more places that you can travel. You can imagine more people that you can touch, and more foods, and more art, more everything. There's more. There's theoretically infinite, but
yes, so much. Yes,
that's the everything.
It's another comfortable silence with you, my amor.
Comfortable?
Yeah.
I'm gonna lay down.
Yeah.
And make snow angels in the silence. A bed of silence, they call it. That's in radio.
A bed of silence.
Or they put down a music track as a bed, a music bed instead of a music silence. I mean, a bed of silence. A bed of music versus a bed of silence.
I'm confused now. I'm just kidding.
In radio, they would ask you, do you want like a bed of silence, or do you want a music bed? And I'm like, oh, put some music on, and they would put a little music in the background and talk over it. Silence is supposed to be like a death in radio. Like radio announcers, why they never stop talking, and they can just gush, and they go, oh, hey, everybody, it's 10:40 in the hour, and the weather is pretty clear, and the next song I'm going to play is this, and they just keep talking. They never stop.
That is so, unnerving, because, it's cállate for a moment.
They've done the studies.
Relax.
But
is that people's brains?
Yeah, it's
and
people.
Their ADHD and ADD, and they always need to be having something.
5 seconds of silence, and you're like, oh, I guess that show's over, and you just turn to the next station, and they can't do that. They have advertisers. They need to keep you, on the hook. They have to keep you,
But being in a bed feels so good. Even a bed of silence.
Apparently not in radio. And apparently people are not comfortable.
It's like a snuggle. Silences can be a snuggle.
But most people refer to it as uncomfortable silence versus comfortable silence.
See, we have to snuggle ourselves in the silence when you're a person, is so needing to grab something outside of themselves with their attention, you know. But then when silence comes, maybe it's good to just say, okay, I get to snuggle myself in this moment. Silence.
That's meditation. You have to practice that turning off of the mind, the silence. It's so uncomfortable for most people.
Yeah.
They ask, like, what do I do during meditation? What do I think about? Nothing. Really?
I get it, though.
What's that
I feel
like?
that even in myself, like at times. At times I love it. At other times it's more uncomfortable. I think I'm still trying to find my way through it. It seems to all have information for me. The silence feels really loud to me, like I get to decode, you know, vibrations in myself, like feelings or thoughts. You know, like it's all information, and I'm actually fascinated by it, but I'm not always comfortable with it, but I'm fascinated.
Beyond even whether or not you think you're comfortable or uncomfortable with silence, humans aren't really built for it. There is a room that is the most soundproof room in the world. But no human can spend more than an hour in that room without having like severe mental trauma. Like you can go completely nuts.
We talked about this in our first episode. That room.
And then we didn't talk for 40 minutes and went nuts.
Actually, so I want to hear from the listeners. Feel free to write in and let us know. How would you feel if we started our intro with the podcast for one episode and said, hey, everybody, I'm the writer, I'm the musician, you know, and then we had silence for 40 minutes or 20 minutes even. Would you like that? Would you welcome it? Would you invite it?
Well, they would turn it off.
They would.
Studies have shown, even though it would give you the space to create your own podcast, you would talk over and take the podcast, and each person would have an individual experience. It'd be very unique. Nobody would have the same.
That sounds cool.
We'll have to research, because there is John Cage did silence. There was a band that actually, I forget which band, a punk band that in tribute to John Cage, or, at least in Steal Like an Artist, in the spirit of Steal Like an Artist, did 1 minute and 11 seconds of silence to complement his 3 minutes and 33 seconds of silence. But then the John Cage Foundation, those people went and sued that band and won, because John Cage already had the copyright on a song that is silent.
What?
So nobody can now release silence as an art form because John Cage has it trademarked. Or
how would you steal like an artist for that
signature piece?
Silence.
I don't even know. You can't. You theoretically can't. He really did that. Like, he nailed it. Nailed it. But then other artists, I had a hour-long or more discussion, read argument with somebody in a bar looking at a frame on the wall, and they said, that's stupid. And I said, no, that's art. And they said, that is absolutely not art. That's just a frame on the wall. Like, behind it, you can see the wall. So is a wall art? I'm like, once you frame it, yes, it is. And Frank Zappa said that. He said, you have to frame your art. You have to put a beginning and an end and frame it, and then give it to the consumer, or the listener, or the whoever it is. He didn't say consumer, he said listener. But he was sort of warning musicians, like, you can't do this free-form nonsense. You have to start somewhere, end somewhere, clearly frame your art, and then give it to the people. And so I would argue that you put a frame on the wall and that's art, and it'll always be unique because it's a different wall. It's different something. There's something going on.
And what maybe the person that you were talking with saw was the wall. But what if when you were looking at it, you saw a picture of me and you together, and we were smiling and happy, but it was in your imagination. isn't that just as real?
Some artists could go up and draw a circle. And now it's a circle inside of a frame, and it's interactive art. A fly lands on it. That's real-time art.
Real-time art.
I can't help but be on the side of that is art. Whatever's inside the frame is art. And there's a beauty to that, I think. Because there's a freedom. Instead of thinking that artists have to follow rules, I don't think there are rules. And once you give an artist rules, they'll find a way to break them.
Oh, yeah.
That's the nature of the imagination. We can't help but the minute that
it's part of destroying, right?
Right.
An ending, yes.
That another quote, I don't know who said it, that while scientists are busy creating better mousetraps, nature is busy creating better mice. Nature will find a way. Or even then, like we're saying, artists will find a way.
Yeah.
I think the moment you give artists rules, they'll find a way to break them. And that pushes art. Like
I support it.
Say in Project Runway, that I'll always like talking about pushing the edges and
going
pushing
going further.
Not just doing the same outfits, the same techniques, the same everything. When they see something pushing fashion.
Challenge yourself. Challenge your own mind.
Even challenging the audience and their imagination.
Yes.
Like I was trying to challenge that person to accepting that the frame creates the art. Like framing the art really helps you.
Did they ever see it different?
No. No, they really, really adamant that it's a cop-out for an artist to just put a frame on the wall and frame nothing. Or then they started talking about how these people do these pieces that are just black, and just canvas, painted black, throw it on the wall and call it art.
And sell it for $4,000.
Whatever someone's willing to pay. The Banksy. Banksy did a perfect piece. He created a frame that had a shredder built into the bottom of it. Nobody knew. Put the art in there and left it for years. And it's one of his famous pieces. And people were buying, auctioning millions and millions. And I forget what it sold for. 2 million or I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Much.
I'd have to look up how much it sold for, but it's definitely over $1 million. And I believe it was 2 or a lot.
Even
like just
more.
A lot. It's like ridiculous. Like, whoa, I can't believe that sold for that much money. Moment it's sold, that person click, okay, sold to that person. Banksy flipped the switch and the piece shredded through the bottom of the frame. And there's destruction. That's your destruction, folks. So create all the art that you're creating, but sometimes you have to destroy some things to really
create more
art.
Or enjoy the silence of nothing there.
If this were a proper radio show, I would outro with Enjoy the Silence by Depeche Mode and bid you a wonderful day.
Cheers.
Make good art.
We love you.
Cheers.